bloc is like a fever. It comes and goes with varying intensity. And the last major bout was between 2005 and 2008. And it's back. In just the first 3 months of this year, 15 residential sites have been sold for about $5.8 billion. Compare this to last year, where 28 residential sites and 3 commercial and industrial sites were sold for nearly $8.7 billion. Also in March, news of the potential sale of Mandarin Gardens condominium caused quite a stir. The 99-year leasehold estate has an estimated price tag of just over $4 billion, with $325.4 million used to top up the lease. And it looks like the en bloc fever will take a while to cool down. As it is, it has already spread to other developments. Mixed-use developments such as People's Park Complex, People's Park Centre and Golden Mile Complex are in various stages of the collective sale process, as well as commercial properties such as Golden Mile Tower and Verdun House. So here are some of the symptoms if the building is going to get en bloc fever. First of all, things are not working the way it should be. Water pipes are leaking, leading to water seepage, lifts are faulty, the list goes on. If the property is near or past the halfway mark of its 99-year lease, and a much higher chance if the building is near amenities such as a shopping mall or MRT station. And bonus, if they are in high SES areas such as districts 9, 10 and 11. If you've managed to get en bloc, congratulations! Everyone wins! Well, almost. Almost everyone. Most of the residents, if not all, stand to make a killing from a collective sale than if they were to sell their units individually, or worse, have their lease expire and be left with nothing. Plus, they won't have to deal with the high costs that come with maintaining old buildings anymore. The developers get a good deal too, as long as they do all their sums right and sell all the new units within 5 years to avoid getting taxed. And also think of all the jobs that different companies will get, like construction companies, interior design firms, places that sell kitchen appliances, gym equipment, so on and so forth, the list goes on. And in less scarce Singapore, collective sales are a good opportunity to maximize and redevelop the space. Take example, Mandarin Gardens estate. It's over 1 million square feet and has just over 1,000 apartments. If redeveloped, the apartments yielded could be 3 times that number, and if allowed, the land can be divided into several different properties. Despite all the upsides of an en bloc, it's not entirely win-win. It's still a fever, so there are bound to be some discomforts. Aside from ugly committee wars when residents don't see eye to eye, some argue that knocking down a building removes a part of Singapore's architecture and history. Take for example the Pearl Bank Apartments, which was Singapore's tallest residential building in the 70s and the standard for the condominiums of today that come with common areas, clubhouses and shops. Despite calls from the public and architects to conserve it, it will likely be demolished and redeveloped. Then there are these, what some might consider landmarks. Yes, they look old and shabby now, but when they were first completed in the 70s, they were recognized by architecture experts for their brutalist-style architecture. Another downside to en bloc is that it displaces communities and dismisses memories people may have of the building. And then also where you're going to catch the coach to KL. In an ST article last year, the chief executive of International Property Advisor, Hu Sui-yong, said that frequent redevelopment may lead to communities that are not resilient because nobody knows each other. Some say that setting up a Facebook or WhatsApp group chat can help sustain those ties. But nothing beats face-to-face conversations, right? Still, is a sense of community enough to save these buildings? And what makes one worth conserving? I asked the Urban Redevelopment Authority, and this is what its spokesman said. The URA looks at the building's architectural, social and historical significance, rarity and contribution to the environment. The URA also seeks views from the building owners as well as the Independent Conservation Advisory Panel before making a decision. To strike a balance between conservation and redevelopment, the URA may selectively retain the more significant parts of the heritage building or compound for adaptive reuse, while allowing the rest of the site to be redeveloped to optimize land to meet various needs. Some examples of that would be the National Aerated Water Building, the cluster of Singapore Improvement Trust flats at Dakota Crescent, and the South Beach development, where the former non-commissioned officers club and old drill hall is. With this approach in mind, more than 7,000 buildings and structures have been conserved so far. It's not always a bad thing for a building to go en bloc, but I do think the Pearl Bank Apartments and Golden Mile Complex are kind of cool, even if some find this vertical slum. What? Am I supposed to look sad?